In the denture support groups that I belong to, a lot of times people will share photos of their dentures out of their mouths, on the counter, on the table, in their hand, and ask, do my dentures look okay? They're looking at their dentures, they're staring at them, and to them, they don't look right. And the thing is, you cannot tell by looking at your dentures if they are right. You have to wear them and you have to see if they make sense in your mouth. If you're just looking at them, they're going to look odd. They may not look right. And nobody's going to be able to look at your dentures out of your mouth and tell you if they make sense, if they are going to fit well for you once you put them in, because no two pairs of dentures look alike. Everybody's mouths are different. That's why we have impressions done. That's why I can't wear a friend's dentures, and you who are watching this couldn't just pop my dentures in, because our dentures are made for each person. They're completely individual. So looking at someone's dentures, you can't say, well, they don't look like mine, they look wrong. Somebody else's mouth doesn't look like ours. So it's impossible to look at dentures and say, well, those don't look right. I'm going to show you what my dentures look like, and you can see out of my mouth, my dentures don't look like they would make sense. They're a little odd looking in spots, and they look like they might not work. But in my mouth, my dentures work perfectly fine. Out of my mouth, if you're just looking at them, they look a little weird. They look off, but they make sense in my mouth. So this is my top denture, and like here, you can see there's like this little bump right there, but I don't have one on the other side, but I do have one over here. Makes perfect sense in my mouth, but if you're looking at my top denture, it looks off. And then my bottom denture, so a few years before I had my teeth extracted, I had a couple of teeth pulled on this side of my mouth. So my gum had healed at a different rate than the rest of my mouth, because these teeth were extracted before the rest of my teeth. And I have a divot on this side. Well, my dentures were made to accommodate the fact that my gums are higher up here, but lower here. Out of my mouth, they do not make sense. In my mouth, they make perfect sense. So this is what they look like out of my mouth. On this side, you can see it goes here, but on this side, it flares, and it's much longer on this side. Out of my mouth, they are lopsided. When I set them on the counter, they kind of raise up on one side, because one side is longer than the other. But in my mouth, they make sense. In my mouth, my dentures look right. They make sense. Out of my mouth, they look odd. If somebody's looking at them, they might say, oh, they don't look right. They don't look like my dentures. My dentures aren't going to look like someone else's dentures, because my mouth is completely different than somebody else's. In my mouth, the bottom denture, which I showed you was lopsided out of my mouth, in my mouth, it goes all the way down here. And then on this side, it goes all the way down there. Perfectly even teeth. My teeth are even. Everything is the way it's supposed to be. In my mouth, they make sense. Out of my mouth, they're lopsided. The one side is longer. They don't look like they make sense. On the top, I can't show you that little divot because it's way up here and it just is awkward. I've redone this video like 5 times because I was trying to show it. I can't, but it's right here. And it's just because that's how my mouth is in that spot. There's just some odd spot, and that part makes sense. My top denture, when you saw it, you can see that this is very high. My dentures go all the way up to here. They are not uncomfortable. I can't feel anything, but they go up that high, which helps because it gives me lip support. I don't have lost lips. I shared photos showing myself without my dentures in, with my dentures in. Without my dentures in, my lips are much thinner. I lose them. They're gone. But because of how my dentures are made, I have lip support. That makes my lips look fuller. And so my top denture goes all the way up, like really high, but that gives me the lip support that I need. My last pair of dentures did not give me that. These do, and I'm really happy because I have much fuller lips. But out of my mouth, my dentures do not look comfortable to someone else. I had somebody once point that out to me. They go, wow, your dentures look really uncomfortable. They are super comfortable. I don't even feel them when I'm wearing them. They are perfect. Without adhesive, they don't budge, and they fit great. I do use adhesive, but as you just saw, my dentures fit great. I can, move around in there and nothing's popping up and moving or anything like that. And they make sense in my mouth, but they're not going to make sense to somebody who's just looking at them. So just looking at your dentures out of your mouth, you are not going to be able to tell if they make sense. You need to wear them. You need to see how they fit, how they feel. And that is how you can tell if your dentures make sense for you in your mouth. But nobody can look at your dentures and tell you if they look right. Because out of your mouth, as you see with mine, they are going to look probably like they don't make sense. They might look too small, too big, uncomfortable, lopsided. That's just because that's how your mouth is. And your dentures are made to accommodate the geography of your mouth. So don't worry about how your dentures look out of your mouth. Worry about how they feel when you are wearing them. And remember, when you first start wearing them, they are going to feel bulky and uncomfortable and hard to get used to because you've never worn prosthetic teeth before. So you're going to have to give it a little bit of time, especially if you have healing dentures, also known as immediate and temporary dentures. Your gums are swollen. So your dentures are not going to fit the way that they will once the swelling goes down. You need to give that a little bit of time and let everything settle down and then go from there. But just looking at your dentures when they're out of your mouth, you are not going to be able to tell if they are right. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about how they look out of your mouth. Give your gums time to heal and give yourself time to adjust to your dentures and then go from there and see if they make sense in your mouth. I'm going to go ahead and go. I hope that this helps. Someone who is sitting there staring at their dentures going, these just don't look right. Why don't they look right? Why do they look weird? Because as you see with mine, they don't look like they would make sense, but they make perfect sense in my mouth. I'm going to go ahead and go. I'll talk to you later. Bye.